Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Project Ozone 3 Kappa mode. Oh yeah, guys, last episode we started into Astral Sorcery. We started a little bit of Astral Sorcery. We were able to get ourselves some liquid starlight being generated. We made some of the quest items like this grindstone. We made all the way up to the Starlight crafting altar with the multi-block structure. And since it is towards the end of December, I guess, as there's a festive texture on the marble blocks. But anyway, we're going to continue on with Astral Sorcery today. Our goal is to try and get towards the enemy controller, and that requires us to have these crystal clusters, which does require Iridescent Altar. So like top-end Astral Sorcery crafting stuff, we have to attune a crystal to have this particular constellation available when we craft on the Iridescent Altar. And then we need all this other stuff. And yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time to get there, but I've done Astral Sorcery before. It's really not that bad. I did go ahead and go to the Twilight Forest while I was waiting for nighttime, and I collected a whole lot of these rock crystals. You know, one vein of the rock crystals that appears there with Fortune 3 when you mine it, you get about 30 crystals. Like, there's a lot that you get. So I found like 2 or 3 veins. And then I put all of the rock crystals in here that I found that's like purity level 50. Actually, I started going 60% or lower. So we got quite a bit of different crystals in here. These are all just going to turn into liquid starlight, and we are automatically feeding them back into this light well every time one breaks. I did make another shulker box. We have one already, and the one that we made previously we have downstairs, and we were using that for holding stuff from these loot bags. And it's full of junk right now, so I left that alone. I just made another one. These things are rather inexpensive, and all of our better rock crystals that are 60% purity or higher, we have in here. I think there's a 50% one because we ran out of space. But anyway, yeah, that's where we are with that right now. So we got more space for stuff. We can make more of these shulker boxes to put into our ender pouch here, so we have more storage space to take with us, should we choose to. But anyway, let's continue on with the quests here. The next quest in the line wants us to make an Attunement Altar, wants us to do Astral Ritual, and make a Shifting Star. So we have these 3 things next. So the Ritual Pedestal itself is liquid starlight plus either attuned or regular rock crystal, some gold. Yeah, so this isn't that bad. We can do all this stuff. We just need to get the materials together and craft it on our altar here, which we should be able to do. The Shifting Star require that star dust. We got star metal last episode. We were able to link iron ore to a floating crystal in the Landia dimension to convert it into that ore. I've also been informed that the Deep Dark dimension in this mod pack has the star metal ore as well. I had no idea that was a thing. I don't even know if there's probably is a quest for that somewhere in here, but I don't think that quest probably specifically says that it has that star metal ore in there. Well, anyway, the other thing that we wanted to make would be this Attunement Altar, and this requires a star metal ingots, which we have, more rune marble, and all this stuff, and again, starlight crafting. So I'll just go ahead and knock out all this crafting. It just takes a little bit of time. We probably got to wait for nighttime for this to fill up. Yep, so let me get to that. We'll craft it up. We'll be right back. All right, guys, so we now have all of those items completed: the Shifting Star, the Attunement Altar, and the Ritual Pedestal. Now, both of these items, these 2 right here, require a multi-block structure that we will have to set up in order to use them. The Attunement Altar is actually a quite big multi-block structure. It's all contained within the Astral Tome. The Shifting Star is if you attune yourself using the Attunement Altar. The Shifting Star can be used to unattune yourself, as far as I remember, in Astral Sorcery. So if we go back to this section here and we claim that, yeah, we are pretty much done. The next step is to do the Celestial crafting, and that wants us to make the Celestial Altar, but in order to make that, we do need to get ourselves either well, I guess it looks like we can do it without. I was thinking we had to make an attuned crystal to do this, but it doesn't look like that. So chiseled, some marble pillars, star metal. Do we have that stuff? We have one. Okay, well, I think we might be able to do this if I hurry up because, yeah, it's just past midnight now. So if I want to do this before the night changes, we gotta be quick about it. So let's make some more pillars here. How many do we need? Total of 3, or total of 2. I do need 2 star dust and a star metal. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to do this tonight, actually. Star metal, and then I should probably bookmark this. I keep fumbling around. What do I click on? I don't know. Okay, so this 2 star metal, 2 star dust, and 1 star metal ingot. Okay, so we can do 2 of those into our pulverizer. I did have to make this illumination powder, but that's like really inexpensive. 4 glowstone aquamarine makes you 16 of them. Yeah, that's really not that bad. Okay, so do we have everything now that we need? I think so. And if we can just use a regular rock crystal, we definitely should be okay here. Now, unfortunately, there is no plus button to click. I lied. I wasn't seeing that plus button earlier for the other recipes that I was doing, but apparently it's still a thing, so we are good to go. Yeah, there definitely was a plus button there. Okay, so this is going to upgrade our altar to the next tier, which does require a new multi-block in order for us to actually use it. I don't know if we have unlocked that yet. I think that's under the Attunement section. Let's take a look at that real quick. Celestial Altar. Oh yeah, look at that. So that's the new multi-block that we need to make in order for this thing to actually function. So a little bit more sooty marble. Not really too difficult for us to do. So once this thing converts over, I think we just have to break it, pick it up, put it into our inventory to complete that quest. And then we got to fix the multi-block. But other than that, we should be pretty much good to go here. Yeah, this whole upgrading process does take a little bit of time sometimes. Is it going to be able to finish before it changes to daytime? Is it going to run out of starlight power? I actually don't know how that works. It's still going. Oh, it did finish. Okay, my vision expands. I learned more about constellation. So we just unlocked this section here. Cool. Yeah, this section, that gives us the Iridescent Altar, everything that we need to know about that. But let's go ahead and pick this up and complete that quest. There it is. Awesome. So I'll go ahead and expand this out so our altar works once again, and we'll be right back, guys. Well, I figured since I don't want to do everything off camera in Astral Sorcery, we should do at least one constellation discovery ourselves, or I guess together. Let me go ahead and eat a carrot here. I just noticed that my hunger is pretty far down. So if you go into here, you look at the constellations, we can see what all the ones look like. I know for sure that this one's Visio, because that's the only one I have not discovered yet. I have discovered the other 4 of them. So Visio is just connect the dots this way, so it's like 3 separate legs. So if we look at this, we can see that we can click and drag like that. This one goes here, and then this like that. That's as easy as it is. You just got to figure out where these points go and how those correspond to the constellations you know about. So that is all of the constellations. Yep, so we know all of the different ones now. So that's really cool. We don't have to worry about this telescope anymore until we do the next set of them, which I can't remember how we unlocked that. Maybe I just need more constellation paper in my inventory or something at this point. I think there's something else we have to do. Let me drop this and pick it back up. Does that do anything? No. Okay, so there is something else we have to do. What it is, I don't know. But anyway, I have started with the multi-block structures here. So we have the one for the Attunement Altar. So yeah, we can attune to different constellations. And I have this inset into the ground so we don't have to step up to it. I took our altar over here for the Starlight crafting and I inset that into the ground. And in fact, I put the next little portion for the next altar on top. So when we upgrade this, eventually, it'll already be ready to go. I am now in the process of working on the one for our Ritual Pedestal. No, not Ritual Pedestal. Did I make the wrong thing? Now I'm confused. I wanted to make the Starlight Infuser. This is what this thing is that I'm making, not the Ritual Pedestal. Can we even make the Starlight Infuser? This is what I've been trying to make here. Yeah, that looks doable. Just some marble pillars and stuff like that. We do need the Celestial Altar, this one, in order to craft it. Okay, well, that's my mistake. I was making the multi-block for this, thinking that we had already had that in our inventory, but this is a different item. But that's fine. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and craft the Starlight Infuser. This will help us out with certain crafts so we can make resonating gems and glass lenses and turn sand to clay if we really want to, and some other various things like that. Mostly, I want to have this thing for converting glass panes to glass lenses and aquamarines into resonating gems. So anyway, I'm going to get to finishing the rest of this multi-block, and we'll be right back, guys. So one of the next things that we need to do in Astral Sorcery in order to progress is we need to make ourselves some celestial crystals. Now that's pretty easy to do now that we have most of this stuff set up. We're currently waiting on nighttime so I can make this particular recipe for whatever that thing was. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But anyway, while we're waiting for nighttime, we're going to take some stardust, mix it with some of these rock crystals in a pool of liquid starlight, and then we should be able to get ourselves some of these celestial crystals that I was talking about. So let's go ahead and fill up some of these little areas right here. Doesn't have to be too many, but they do have to be separated. You can't have like more than one in a puddle. And then I guess we can throw another one right here too. Okay. So yeah, they can't be diagonal. That's fine. So stardust, and then we need to get ourselves these rock crystals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So since I have a magnet, I'm going to kind of hover above it a little bit. So I'm going to drop the rock crystal in there plus a stardust, and we should see blue particles coming out. I guess I am still too close with my magnet. So I'll try and do that. So both of those in there, yeah. So things are happening. After a short amount of time, oh, come on, magnet. Maybe if I hold shift, it will be better. Dude. Yeah, after a short amount of time, the liquid starlight will go away, and then there will be like a little crystal thing formed there. And we gotta wait for that little crystal thing to grow up. Oh no, this magnet is really annoying. I don't have my ability bottle on me, so I'm gonna try one more time here and see if we can do this without too much effort. I guess if I press space and shift at the same time, it should be okay. Like that kind of turns off the magnet and it makes me kind of hover here. All right, so we got that. This one. Oh, that crystal didn't make it in there. See if I can pick this up. Give me that crystal. There it is. Awesome. I'm gonna hover up a little bit. Yeah, so it looks like one of those already turned into the crystal. We got 3 of them now. So yeah, now it's just a matter of waiting for it to grow up. See if I can get lined up here. This one and this one. Cool. So those are all set. Now that these are like this, we can get rid of these blocks. Those are only there to prevent the liquid starlight from going all over the place. Yep, this one's done. This one's done. So just 2 remaining. Cool. Yeah, it's random how long it takes for these things to grow up. It's probably going to take like 30 minutes or an hour or something. I think you can press F3. You can see here the stage, and the stage is 0 on all of these, and it's just random when they decide to grow. So yeah, we're just gonna have to wait on that. Cool. Well, it is getting nighttime, so this might be, oh no, the sun is still going down. So as soon as this decides to fill up here, we should be able to start this recipe and get this thing cooking. Well, now that our Starlight Infuser has been crafted, I place it here and things should be working. If we place a glass pane on here, it should just start crafting. Oh, do I have to right click it? I think I have to right click it. Maybe it's right click it. There you go. So now we're crafting. So the way this thing works, if you haven't seen it, is we have 12 pools of liquid starlight around the outside of this. And as it crafts, it has a pretty high chance of using one of these every time. It has to be completely full for it to craft, but there's a chance that it doesn't use it. Either way, you got to make sure that you keep an eye out for that and refill those pools of the liquid starlight if it uses one up. Now, once we upgrade our altar to the highest tier, the Iridescent Altar, there is an item that we can craft that will kind of like make this a little bit nicer, and it won't directly use a full source block. It'll use a part of a source block from a fluid container. Yeah, that's what we want to go for eventually. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and make up some of these glass lenses as we're doing. We're going to need these spectral relays, which require the glass panes. We've already made one of those before, but we're going to need those spectral relays in order to lay out a pattern here for a constellation so that we can attune ourselves or a crystal. Yep, that's what we need to do. Okay, so it did not use any liquid starlight that time. That's nice, so we will do that. I was looking over here before I grabbed those 8 buckets of starlight. We had 120 buckets in here, so we are collecting quite a bit of this liquid starlight. We've used it for various other things, including filling up the well around our Starlight Infuser over here. Yeah, so we're doing pretty good. So this one is a middle source block that is gone. There we go. And continue on. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time here making some of these things to make those spectral relays and this and that, and we'll be back, guys. So I put a few more crystals down. I figured that we're going to probably want extras. You can tell when they're done, they get these white glowing particles. The ones that are not done don't have those. These look almost exactly the same, right? Except these just don't have the glowing particles. Anyway, you should only get 1 crystal per one of these, and you do get Stardust back. Homegrown is best. So let's harvest this other one as well. There's no point in leaving it any longer. There's nothing special is going to happen storing it there. So this one is actually really good. This has a purity of 94%. You want to get a purity of 100%. And then like you can duplicate the crystals, and that's what you really, really want. So just starting off with that is really good. Okay, so we're good there. We do need 1 celestial crystal in order to upgrade our altar to the next tier, so we'll use the purity 89 one, not as good. And then what else do we need here? We need 4 resonating gems, and resonating gems are aquamarine put through our Starlight Infuser thing. So we have yet a little bit more Starlight infusing to do. I actually forgot to do those. I thought I had everything else done, but apparently not. Okay, so now we have to do this and this. Yeah, once we get upgraded to the Iridescent Altar, we can make that thing here for our Starlight Infuser, so it's not using a full bucket of starlight at a time when we fail, which we just did right there. Anyway, let me go ahead and finish up the last 3 of these, and we will continue. Okay, so those 4 resonating gems are done, and we don't have near enough starlight that we need in order to do this. You can see what our current starlight level is, and the lighter, or I guess the darker blue bar, yeah, that shows how much we need, and we aren't there. So there are things that we can do to improve our starlight. There's going to be a thing that we can do to really improve it, but right now we have to do like a simple fix. One fix would be to move our altar way up to build them, and that might solve it for us. But there are spectral relay things. I don't remember where this is. Research, attunement, discovery, maybe under exploration. Spectral relay. Is it under this? Ah, yeah. So you build this multi-block here. You can put a few of them around your altar, and I think they have to be like 15 blocks away or 13 blocks away. I don't think it actually says here. But anyway, if you put these around, these can collect starlight for you and send it down to your altar. And yeah, that'll increase your starlight. So each one of those costs 4 chiseled, 4 marble arch, and 1 sooty in the center there. Well, we don't have any more sooty, so we have to make more of that in order to get these things going. And it does look like we need those going. So we need coal, and then we need some of our marble, which we have plenty of in our dank knoll. All right. We're not going to need more than 8 of these. Very good. But we will need more marble so we can get these other things done. So it was chiseled and marble arch. So let's make those. So this is going to be chiseled. This is going to be marble arch. It's hard for me to tell which one's which because of the silly holiday theme, but it's fine. Now, you want these things up high, but they have to be within a certain distance of your altar at the same time. Let me use a block. This stuff is fine. So we're going to go out from the edge here. I guess we'll count. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know if this is like the maximum that we want to go in. 1, 2, 3, whoop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll count that as 7 because of this block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to put this here, and I will test out the maximum distance and try and get this all figured out. But we can place these blocks here, and then these blocks here. And then we place down one of the spectral relays, and then you got to put in one of these glass lenses. And if it works, you can see the particles kind of floating down towards your altar, which they are. So you can fidget around with this, move it out further until you don't see that, and then move it up further until you don't see that. But eventually you will see that that has improved your altar starlight. So yeah, you can see this is up even higher. I think we were here before. And at midnight, like that is even higher than what it was. Anyway, so what we want to do is get 4 of those hooked up to increase our starlight that much more. So I'm going to work on doing that, getting these things placed in the appropriate location, get 4 of them hooked up, and then we should be able to upgrade to the Iridescent Altar. Okay guys, so with those spectral relays in place, we are now able to upgrade our altar to the Iridescent Altar. So let's get that going now before we run out of starlight to do that. So it looks like the animation has been improved ever so slightly, kind of like a cool little swirl thing going on and all sorts of particles. Yeah, this mod really is pretty. So I ended up putting these things 10 blocks out and 11 blocks up, and that seems to be the maximum distance for them, at least in my particular setup. Yep, so these all seem to be working rather well. So my vision expand, I learned more about radiance. Oh, get that flare. Doot. Yeah, get wrecked flare. Those flares don't actually even do anything. They just kind of like they wander around, they don't harm anything, and I think they eventually despawn. I just kill them when I see them because I can. So apparently I didn't set this altar up correctly because it says red here, but I thought that's how you set this up. I'll have to double check here. But anyway, let's go and pick that up and get the quest complete. All right. Oh, does this have to go up 2 blocks, not just the 1 block? Let's take a look at the quest book or the book here and see what I did incorrectly. So does Radiance show the Iridescent Altar? It says this focus crafting. I think we have to actually go back to the previous one, which would be, is it Attunement? I can never remember. Celestial Altar. No, it's the next one after that. So Constellation, Attunement, Discovery, Radiance. Maybe it is this one. Focus crafting. Well, one of these shows the multi-block. I really wish this book had like a way to search. That's the one thing about this book that irritates me, because I don't like, or maybe one of these things say this is step 1, step 2, step 3, because I can never remember which one's which. Is this the one that we're supposed to look for? I don't know. I think it might be under Attunement, but is that the one we just looked at? Yeah, I'm not seeing like what the next thing is. This is actually called the Iridescent Altar is what we're looking for. Well, I almost had this right without really looking. I thought this was the way you did it. It is not, but it's a simple fix. And this, the marble like breaks really easily. Anyway, we need to put 2 on either side of here, and then the 5 thing starts right there. So we can get rid of this, get rid of that. And now we have our little glowy thing here in the center, and we have starlight. So this is now working correctly. So it looks fairly similar to what I have before. This is obviously the correct way of doing it though, and now this works appropriately. Cool. So now that we are at this stage and we can do this, I would like to work on getting the Astral Sorcery, the Containment Chalice, this guy right here. So in order to do this, we need to have 5 aquamarine. You can see they are outside the crafting grid. And the way that works is you place down spectral relays like this as additional crafting slots. So if we go back to the recipe here, we are going to need 2 resonating and then 5 regular aquamarine. So we need a total of 7 of the aqua in order to do this. Okay, anything else that we need from over here? We need 2 star metal and 4 gold. And gold. Cool. Is that it? 1 sooty? We have that on us. All right, so we should be good to go. So the next step is we have to take the aquamarines and run them through here again. And we ran out of liquid starlight somewhere, so let me find the one that's missing. I think it's this one right here. Okay, so we'll let that cook up. I'll grab another bucket because I'm probably gonna lose another bucket after this one's done. That's just because that's the way this thing works. Oh, we didn't lose one, it looks like. All right, so we place that and do this one. Cool. So once that one's done, we should be able to do the Containment Chalice, and we no longer have to manually place down buckets of the Starlight, as long as our chalice never runs out of fluid, that is. So we should be able to put 5 of these things right here, and then do the old shift click right there. Oh, and we're running out of Starlight. Of course we are. Well, since we gotta wait for the next night in order to make the chalice, we should look at a way to automate upgrading our celestial crystals. Now we have one here that's 94%, which means we need it to get all the way to size 900 and split. And on the next split, that purity should get to 100%, and that's what we're looking for. Once we're at 100% of the purity, that's the hard part done. So since we found one that's at 94%, yeah, we don't really have a lot of work ahead of us, but we do have some work. So we want to make a fluid placer, so if we pump in liquid starlight, it'll always just keep liquid starlight in that block in front of it. That's what we're looking for. So in order to make that, we have to do iron, or we have to make this casing. We have 32 of those. It's an iron casing plus 2 Inori blocks. We haven't made those before. All right, so we're going to get into this. So we want that, we want this, and then we need 2 Inori blocks. So we don't have enough Inori, so that's just iron blocks put in front of the laser. And the other thing that we needed here is an iron casing. Do we have... No, we just searched for casing, right? Yeah, we don't have that. So iron black quartz. Quartz. I remember the black quartz is something you have to smelt, and I think it's a smoky quartz. You just smelt that again and you get the black quartz. Yeah, so that's pretty easy to do. Okay, and then we just need 4 sticks. All right, so 4 of those. So now we have all of those things together. We can make this guy. We can make... Well, we can make that once we laser these 2 blocks. What do I do with the laser? I put it over here. Let's get rid of this. All right, I turned my magnet off. It was annoying me. I want to have an actual magnet that I can turn on and off. We'll get one of those here pretty soon in the future, but for right now, yeah, I just pulled out the ability bottle and turned that off. All right, so now that we have the Inori crystal, we should be able to make these casings that it wanted us to make. So there's 32 of those casings, and the rest of this is pretty simple. So we need 16 quartz glass, and you get 4 of those per craft, so we need... quartz dust. I think this stuff works, and then we need glass. So we will craft up 16 of these, or 20, because I clicked 1 too many times. That's fine. And there's 2 of those Certus quartz tanks. Awesome. So we do need 2 separate Inori crystals, so that's just iron put in front of the laser. And I will craft up just a little bit more than what's required, so we have a little bit extra in the future. Very good. All right, so now we should have everything here in order to make this block placer, or a fluid placer. Awesome. I don't know if there's a quest for that. I haven't even looked. I just want to make this item because I know it is pretty much the best item that you can use for doing what we want to do here. So put that away, that away, that away, and then the quartz glass over here. We do want to get ourselves fluid conduit. All right. So we are pretty much good to go here at this point. So we are currently making liquid starlight here. I'm going to place the fluid placer here. And let's select, oh, how about marble? That way the liquid starlight does not go everywhere, because that would be annoying to have to deal with and having to replace all my torches and this and that. All right, so we're going to extract always active. So now this will constantly keep liquid starlight here. So the next step is we have to place down our celestial crystal into the fluid, and every now and then it will use a little bit of it, and it will increase in size. Once the size increases to 900, it will just sit there and keep using it. Eventually it'll split, and then when it splits, we have to pull one of them out because it won't do anything if there's 2 in there, and these things never despawn either. But yeah, once it splits, it has a chance of gaining purity, and I'm pretty sure once it splits, we will have 100% purity. That's really what we're looking for. All right, so the Containment Chalice is now made, and that should be a quest complete, I think, right? But it's not. It should be, but it's not. So we'll go ahead and place this just right here. So we need to fill this up full of fluid, and then our Starlight Infuser will then use the stuff from the Containment Chalice instead of removing source blocks of the liquid starlight. Now, I think this does contain fluid in it, so I might be able to just right-click it on here and get some. Nope, doesn't look like I can do that. I can do it the other way. Can I right-click this onto here? I can do that, however. So this has 1 bucket. Oh, okay. I was thinking you would fill it all the way up. No, it doesn't. So this has 2 buckets. If I break it, I actually, does it remember how much it has in it? No, it doesn't. So don't do that, guys. You're welcome. I just saved you the heartache of filling it completely up and then moving it over just to only realize that you don't get to keep the starlight that you put in there. I did that for you. You're welcome. Okay, well, anyway, we have, was it 4 out of 24 buckets in here? Yeah, this little thing that's kind of hovering here gets bigger the more fluid. And like I said, this will automatically pull from the chalice instead of removing the source blocks, which is fantastic. So this is still doing its thing over here. It's going to take a while before it gets to 900 and splits. Where are we at now? We are at, oh, it is at 900. Okay, so anytime now, whenever it uses a little bit of the liquid starlight, it could split, which is awesome. So I'm continuing to watch these crystals over here. This one looks like it's done. We are an 81%, and this one is a 68. Not very good. In fact, I think that's the worst one that we've gotten so far. And this one's a 65. Okay, well, that was the worst one that we just got so far. Well, anyway, I'm going to continue kind of derping around here, waiting for these crystals to grow. Make sure that this thing splits. Continue to work on these crystals. We want to get one that's a 100% purity, 100% cutting, 900% or 900 size before we attune it and turn that into like a collector crystal or any of that kind of stuff. Guys, we spent a lot of time today on Astral Sorcery. If you don't like Astral Sorcery, sorry, but it is a thing that we need to get through, and I enjoy this mod. Yep. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.